Today, I'm covering a really cool topic about machine learning and artificial intelligence in the fire industry. So I've been away for 5 weeks. I participated in a charity bike ride in Thailand, then travelled on to the Philippines via Singapore, then back to Melbourne for 24 hours, then straight over to Fire Australia on the Gold Coast a couple of weeks ago, back to Melbourne, then back out to country Victoria to meet with some clients. And this is the first week I've been back in 5 weeks. So this is an encore presentation that I am doing. I actually presented this at the Fire Australia conference a couple of weeks ago, and the room was chock-a-block. And I have been overwhelmed with inquiries from people wanting to know more about the subject and get copies of the slide deck. So the slide deck and this presentation is an encore performance, and it's being recorded today. So you can watch it later on our YouTube channel, and you can also watch us live today. If you've got comments, I should see them on our dashboard in a moment, and feel free to interact with us along the way. But without holding things up too much, let's just jump straight into the presentation. So I'm a little bit by myself today, so we're going to have to swap around a little bit here and do some trickery. Let's have a look. Here we go. Share this one and let's go slideshow. Whoop, nope, that's not the one we want. Right, it is the slide deck, but let's have a look. Oops, I really made a stuff up with that one. Let's see if we can get that one up again. Oops, I can do this actually. History, I apologize for the confusion here. Slideshow, there we go. That's what we want. Almost, not quite, because now I've closed down every window on my browser. Let's go back here. Righto, there we go. So let's just share the screen and let's dive straight into it. So as I mentioned, this is a presentation that I delivered at Fire Australia. It's my encore presentation. And the title of this presentation was called Machine Learning and Artificial Intelligence in Fire. I talk about share with you the fact that artificial intelligence and machine learning, and I'll talk about the difference between these two in a moment, is not new. So it goes all the way back to 1943 when the concept of artificial neurons. So neurons are the part of our brain that stores and records information for our memory. But the concept of artificial neurons was first presented in 1943. Some of you may have heard of Alan Turing in 1950. So 7 years later, he proposed the Turing test as a criteria for intelligence. If you'd like to learn more about any of these things, there are links in the slide deck notes, which you can have a look at later. In the 1950s, there was the Frank Rosenblatt developed the perception. It's an early neural network. So this goes back a very long time. And then in 1967, the nearest neighbor algorithm was written, and that gave computers the ability for basic pattern recognition. In 1986, the propagation algorithm was developed, which has helped significantly improve neural networks. And then I think the first big public knowledge of presentations was the public knowledge of artificial intelligence is when Deep Blue, which was an IBM computer, defeated the world champion Garry Kasparov in chess. So here's Garry playing on one side, and then Deep Blue and the terminal on the other side. So Gary's on the left. In 2006, the series of guys developed a fast learning algorithm, and then in 2012, image recognition started to come to pass. And I remember my best mate in high school's older brother, Michael. I went and met him, and he was working on computer vision at the time. So actually, that was probably earlier than that, but he was working on it. In 2010, there were big breakthroughs in deep learning. including natural language processing and computer vision. And then AlphaGo developed DeepMind, which is now owned by Google. And DeepMind defeated the world champion Go player in a landmark event showing the capabilities of AI. Now, Go is a very complex game. Lee Sedol, I think I pronounced his name correctly, he's Korean. It not only requires logic, but also some perception of things that may happen. So there was an explosion of artificial intelligence in November 2019 when OpenAI introduced ChatGPT version 2 or GPT version 2 and laid the foundation for the ChatGPT models. In June 2020, GPT-3 was launched with significant improvement in performance with 175 billion parameters. Now, that number is changing and exploding all of the time now. Everybody's trying to outdo themselves. In November 2022, ChatGPT was released to the public, making the first AI conversational model more accessible and robust. In March 2023, ChatGPT-4 was launched with even more advanced capabilities and complex tasks. And literally 1 million users were reached in 2 months. That's faster than Instagram, Spotify, Twitter, Facebook, and Netflix. Interestingly, only last week, OpenAI, which is the company behind ChatGPT, released ChatGPT 4o, which stands for Omni. And Omni allows for their model to interpret video, audio, still images, and text. So if you're using a large language model like ChatGPT in your personal life, study, or business now, how are you using it? Feel free to add notes into the chat. I'd love to see what you're actually doing. So how do I use ChatGPT? If you want to download ChatGPT for your device, you can scan either one of these QR codes. I use ChatGPT regularly. Even the fact that I shared a link to this broadcast today on LinkedIn, LinkedIn actually gave me the ability to rewrite my post in a more efficient way and a better way, according to the model. Interestingly, even though I typed in the message, I hit the button that said rewrite the rewrite the post. It didn't change anything about it. So that was interesting. So there you go, scan those QR codes. In 1 year of evolution of AI, and we're going to play a YouTube video in a second, you can see on the left-hand side what it was like a year ago, and on the right-hand side what it's like today. To me, this is absolutely amazing. Look at the quality of the images that we're actually seeing now. I am really impressed with the change and the rate of change. It's just mind-blowing. This year, we're starting to see absolutely amazing content being created that is next level. This is some video from Sora, which is the OpenAI model that was produced, I think, early this year. And you can see that this actually looks photorealistic. So in 1 year, our AI models have completely changed. So let's just jump forward again to the next slide. And I just talked about what it's like. This is Sora.
Holy mother of papers.
And this is from a YouTube channel that focuses on artificial intelligence and
text-to-video AI,
right now.
Sora, and it is so far beyond
So the
anything else I
here
have
is
ever
unbelievable.
seen.
So
It
is
is
the
hard
processing
to put
power
into
that is
words.
required for
Dear
this.
fellow scholars, this is 2-minute
Apple
papers with
released-
Dr.
so
Karo
Microsoft
Zsolnai
released
Fehér.
new,
When I first saw these results, I
AI
thought this
yesterday.
was some April Fool's joke.
and it's
No,
in
this
June
is not a
2024.
video
Watch
coming
this later.
from a real camera. This
They
is a
released their
video
new
that
laptops
was synthesized
with a new
pixel by pixel by a new
which
AI.
is
So
a
let's give this one a
microprocessor
spin.
designed
These
specifically for
AI
processing
videos we
artificial
will
intelligence
evaluate by
that can
3
process 40
criteria.
billion
1.
instructions a
Quality.
second.
This
This is amazing
shocking.
technology,
The
and it is
quality of these
evolving
works
literally
is
week
out
by
of this
week at
world.
the moment.
If we are not
So let's just go back to our slideshow again and present it in full picture. There we go.
Yes. Holy.
That one. Okay, so how am I using ChatGPT? I talked about that before. I'm literally using it every single day. I like using it for brainstorming. So when I've got some concepts or ideas that I want to expand on, maybe start with a basic concept and look at new ways thinking about it. I use it to respond to emails from time to time, looking for a better way to say something that's perhaps not as confrontational as perhaps my normal writing style might be. I also like it to improve content that I create. So as many of you will know, I write a lot of content about fire safety. Now, I initially thought that AI could be the bee's knees for creating new content, but I discovered that I don't actually like the writing style of ChatGPT, so I probably use it more like expanding ideas rather than creating new content. So I don't just ask ChatGPT to write something and then copy and paste it onto our website or in our videos. I actually do that myself. I use it for image generation from time to time, plotting graphs. That's one that I really love being able to use. I can just literally paste some data into ChatGPT and ask it to graph the data, and then lastly research. So one of the most common things that people wanted to know is, how can I use AI today? So here are 13 tools that you can use. The first one is Canva. Canva is an Australian unicorn company. Unicorn meaning that it's a $1 billion company in the tech space. Canva is used for doing design, editorial, and marketing tools for business and personal. The other one I like here is Media.io. It's a Swiss Army knife of media AI tools. I really like this one. I use all of these tools. Reloom, it helps you design or come up with concepts for website design really quickly. Mixio, which is lets you generate a website in seconds. Adobe Firefly. If you're online, you may have seen Firefly in use, maybe in an online ad or something like that. Firefly is an amazing product. It lets you write a text prompt for a canvas, and then it will fill in that canvas with an image that you have described using text. And you can then define a portion of that space. I think some of the ads I've seen is the first part of the canvas is to design a bookshop, and then the second part of the canvas, they say add some water with a jaguar in it. It's absolutely amazing. I don't actually have the image here to show you, but if I find it, I'll add it to the slide deck so you can have a look at it later. Gamma is a really good way of presenting content. So you basically put some content ideas in, and Gamma will let you use AI to present those ideas. SoundDraw lets you create music from just words. So that's number 7. It's really useful if you're a creative person and you're looking for some inspiration. Yodely, it's a tool for if you're a presenter and you want to present in front of the camera the way I'm presenting in front of a camera today. You can upload the presentation, and it can give you some coaching skills to be a better presenter. Pictochart, it's an infographic maker. So an infographic is a way of displaying information and posters and banners, and then you can tailor those to your brand's voice. Kolov, which allows you to transform interior design. So you may have actually seen these already and not even known. You can use Kolov.ai to you photograph your home. Let's say you want to present your home for sale. You can remove all the furniture, take some photographs, and then use this tool, Kolov, to add furniture back into the room. You can also use it as an interior designer for renderings and giving clients concept art of what a space might look like. Quillbot, I use this a lot. You'll often, if you know anything about, or if you've used artificial intelligence, you'll know that AI content has a kind of feel about it. There's a couple of words that it loves to use, and I'm not a massive fan of those words. And Quillbot will detect most AI written content. Now, it's really important, and I didn't really touch on this earlier, but if Quillbot can determine that your content has been developed by AI, then so can Google and any other search platform, and they may penalize your content, making it not as valuable in their search algorithms. So be very careful in creating content. I've seen some websites in the fire industry that they have clearly used AI generated content to try and gamify search engines, and it's very poorly written, inaccurate content. And in fact, while we're talking about inaccuracies in content, one of the challenges with AI is that it likes to hallucinate. So hallucinating is when you can dial up or increase the amount of creativity that the AI model will use. And if you have that creativity too high, then it can hallucinate, in other words, make up facts which are not correct. So Quillbot, great tool. I would use this one every other day for something. Otter, I certainly use. I was teaching some friends about how to use Otter. It's probably on my phone. It's a great tool which I use. It's normally written. It's on my dashboard. It's not there at the moment, but it's on my dashboard on my phone. And Otter lets me get the transcript of a meeting. I actually pay for it, and then it will summarize that meeting and give me some action items as well. It's a great tool, and that's it. So let's stop sharing now, and let's jump into how we can use AI in our workplace. Now I'm going to open up a tab. So I'm going to share my screen again. Let me just open up a tab. And here's my ChatGPT model. And we're going to have a look at what's possible here. So I'm just going to bring that up. And there we go, ChatGPT, share. So this is ChatGPT. If you've never used it, just go to chatgpt.com. And interesting, I can now connect apps. So this is a new feature, literally released today, connecting ChatGPT to things like docs and spreadsheets. So let's just ignore that. If you are just using the normal ChatGPT model, and I ask it a question, tell me about the National Construction Code. Now, if I ask it a simple question like that, it does know that it's in Australia, and it does know specific information. So it tells me there are some really great resources, to be honest. In fact, this is really great data. Now, I have created a GPT that specifically has the National Construction Code written in it. And let's just do the same question. And this time it's actually going to research the National Construction Code. And it actually, because I've shared volume 1 of the National Construction Code, it has specific information. So you can see that it's more verbose. Now let's just go and compare these two again. So this one is pretty good. National Construction Code is a comprehensive set of technical provisions for the design, construction, performance of buildings throughout the country. But if I ask it a specific question, what is the best? What are the requirements for stairwell pressurization. So it's a very general question. I'll copy that. What are the requirements for stairwell pressurization in buildings? So it understood the context, and it knew that it was probably relating to Australia. Now this is the version that doesn't have the National Construction Code linked to it. So here's my question. Stairwell pressurization systems are a critical component of ensuring the fire safety of a building. The objective is to maintain positive pressure differential between the stairwell and adjacent spaces to prevent the infiltration during fire. So I'm going to ask the exact same question here. And it's now going to look at the National Construction Code. So now you can see that down the bottom here, it's looking through its knowledge. And this one is specifically for volume 1, which covers multi-residential, commercial, industrial, and public assembly buildings, so class 2 to 9. And it's giving us specific information about pressurization systems. So this is more detail. Now I can ask it, what type of smoke detector or smoke alarm is required for a 9C building? So that's a very specific question. It's checking its knowledge again. And I've tried to fool it by asking a smoke detector or smoke alarm. For a 9C, the National Construction Code outlines the requirements for smoke detectors and smoke alarms. So it knows that it's a smoke detection and alarm system and must comply with specification 20. And it also knows that it must be photoelectric smoke detectors in other areas other than patient care areas, paths of travel, blah, 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 blah. In paths of travel, that no point on the floor should be more than 30 meters from a manual call point. And remote indication for each zone must provide each smoke compartment by means of either a mimic panel with an illuminated display or an enunciator panel with an alphanumeric display. This is an amazing summary, to be brutally honest. And if you're a person doing, you need an answer, you're a tradesman or a technician or an engineer, and you need a specific answer to a question, then this is really useful. Now, how did I create a GPT? This is my National Construction Code bot. How did I create this? So let's go up here to exploring the GPTs, and I'm going to create a new GPT. And let's just do one on the Notifier 2800 fire panel. And I'll just put a description, ask questions. And I'm going to upload a file from my knowledge base, wherever that is, technical data. Where is that? I need to upload the document. You think I could find it? I use this every single day. There it is, technical data. Product fire alarm. Let's go down to Notifier inertia. Let's go to the Notifier 2800. And let's go to their manual, and we'll upload another file as well. Let's go to the fault codes. And so I don't want it to be able to produce images, and I don't want it to do the web browsing. And I'm going to create this GPT, and I can share this with anyone with a link. So let's go share. And what we'll do is I'll put a link to this one on the web. Let's copy that. Now let's go to the GPT. Now, this is a brand new one, so it's still probably processing. What are the 2800 fault code for a missing? What is? So now it's going to go off and do some research here. And it still blows me away how amazing this is. The fault code for a missing detector is no response fault code F01, which is correct, which indicates the device is in fault. What is the value for a dirty What is the analog value for a dirty smoke detector that's photoelectric? So it's going through the PDF document. It just blows my brain. I can't not be excited by this. I don't know if I'm actually sharing this with you. Hopefully I am. Let's just see. I apologize if I was not. It just still blows my brain that this is happening. How long is the maximum loop length? I didn't even spell it correctly. So it's going through, checking the knowledge again. Wow. The maximum loop length for a notifier system is 3,810 meters with a maximum resistance of 50 ohms. What is the 50 ohm? Change this. Let's show me that reference. So now I'm getting a specific question about that 50 ohms. The reference of 50 ohms is found in the manual for the Notify 2800 system. It says that the loop resistance measurement when isolation modules or bases are present. Loop resistance cannot what page? So I'm going to what page is this? So no, it's not. Oh, yeah, there you go. Page 118 of the manual. It blows me away every single day. So if you're watching this and you want to know more, let's just see if there's anybody asking any questions at the moment. No questions so far. Okay, let's just jump back. I've just created a very simple GPT to deal with Notifier 2800s. It blows my brain. It absolutely blows my brain that we can do this. So I'll just for the sake of it, I'm going to show you again how to create a GPT. This time we're going to create a different one. And I'm going to call it Understanding the AMPAC Firefinder Plus. And I'll just give the same name. Actually, I'll just go Fire Plus FAQ. That'll do. Let's upload another file here from AMPAC Firefinder Plus. Let's just open both of those files, and then it's still processing it. So let's test it. Wow. So within seconds, I can now ask specific questions about the Firefinder Plus. What is the compliance in Australia? Okay. Wow. Just amazing. So I am truly blown away at what this can do. It never ceases to amaze me how amazing this tool is and how useful it can be. Now, why don't we try one more example, and let's upload a file from maybe, let's go to we'll add another brand of fire panel. Let's call it, let's go to the Vigilant MX1 consultant specification. Oh, it's doing something. I think it's just testing there. We'll share this again. Let's have a look. Explain the differences in, oops, I just realized I'm no longer sharing. So let's share a screen again with ChatGPT. Explain the differences between the the Firefinder Plus and MX1 in a table. So it's searching its knowledge base. Oh my gosh. It's just mind-blowing. Wow. 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 You can tell just from my voice. It's amazing. Oh wow. I'm blown away. Let's see if we can edit this GPT now. And edit it, and let's see if we can add the notifier 2800 and see if we can get the same question. Let's go notify. Let's get the notifier 3030. So update. I've never done this. So I'm going to ask exactly the same question. And now I've just added the notifier 3030 as well. Oh my gosh. Wow. Now, I don't know what to say. Other than I've just been blown away myself. Now, the development of these GPTs happened in March, I think, this year. Is the best for What's the best for smoke detection and why? Here we go. Small to medium facilities, MX1 might be best suited for its... Now, this is remembering this is hallucinating or could be hallucinating. It's just basing its information on something. I don't know. MX1, great for small to medium facilities. Large facilities are Notifier 3030. For flexible and modular needs, the Firefinder Plus. So it's hedging its bets on all three. Why choose one over the other? MX1 is best for easy use of comprehensive programming and crucial when working within regions that recognise its certifications. 3030 is best for large complex facilities that need advanced features and high capacity for detectors. I don't necessarily agree with the findings here. I agree with this. So ultimately the best choice depends on the specific requirements for the smoke detection system. I'll try and trick it. Can I connect a smoke alarm? Yes, you can. Right. Okay. So here's the thing. Is that the GPT doesn't always understand that there's a difference between a smoke alarm and a smoke detector. And so you've got to be really careful and be discerning and try and understand how this is going to work, how this can work. So I'm going to just stop sharing again and just jump back to the camera because I want to just sort of wrap this up. I promise people I don't take too long on any of my videos. So just let me share this screen again and just bring you back to where we're at. So we've now learned how to build our own GPT. And as I gave you the example, and it'll be links to all of these in my notes, but I've just created a National Construction Code bot. I'll just go back. That is just one example of many that you can create. We're working to create like a very broad GPT to answer technical inquiries for our internal team. We're not currently producing anything that's available to the public. That's something that we might consider. There are whole lots of new technologies that you need to understand in order to consume lots of content. There's so much available, but not everything is right. If you'd like to learn more about FireWise, we help discerning building owners to safely maintain fire systems and equipment that save people and buildings from fire. If you want to connect with me, there's my QR code. Just scan that and that will bring me up. Happy to answer questions. Just shoot me a message via social media. You can find me on Facebook or LinkedIn. They're both pretty good. Hopefully I've covered off the basics. If you remember, this is an encore presentation from the one that I did at Fire Australia. If you'd like to know more, as I said, just reach out to me. If you'd like me to do a more expansive version of this presentation or take you through step-by-step on presenting with ChatGPT, then by all means, I'm happy to do that. I've enjoyed presenting this again. I had a little bit more time today and I still zipped through it pretty quickly. I would love to have spent more time with you on this subject. Hopefully you found some value in the presentation today. And if you've got questions, as I said, just reach out to me via social media and I will do my best to help. Once we've finished with this video, I'll upload it to YouTube as a high resolution image or video stream. And there'll be lots of answers in the comments to your questions and links to all of the tools that I've shared with you today. And thanks very much for watching. I look forward to our next Workshop Wednesday in a month's time. Thank you.